Welcome back. So now we know a little bit about JWT token. Let's figure out how we can actually get started with our new authentication setup right here. And we're going to start in the backend. So the first step is going to be just creating a way so we can start logging in to our backend. And I'm going to do it just by adding right here a new scaffolded item, which is going to be an API controller, and I'm just going to call it auth. So this is going to be our new controller that takes care of authentication, meaning that we want to be able to log in to our system right here, and that's what it's actually going to do for us. We'll just let that generate automatically right here, so we get an API controller that's empty. So now I have my AuthController available. Now the next step I want to do is this. I want to create a route or an endpoint that ends with the login right here. It's going to be a post request. I don't want to use a get request here because I want to be able to hide the username and the password that I'm going to log in with inside the body of my HTTP request, and a get request doesn't have a body. So I have to put it into a post request. A get request, you would have to put everything in the URL and people would be able to read your password, and that's not a good thing. So let's start by creating an HTTP post right here. HTTP post. There we go. And in order to make it, instead of just being /API/auth post request right here, which it would be if I don't do anything else, I want in here to actually say login like this to explain that this is going to be a login under that route right here. So meaning API auth login. That's how you kind of create that for the post request right here. Now we have the post available, so we have the route set up. Then we'll make a public method right here and make an action result as the return type. Action result not accepted. And that action result, we're going to add some information to that later, but for now let's just make the method name right here login. Now when you make the method name the same as the actual template route that we just created right here, this one, you can actually go and do something pretty neat. You can just go in and say name of, and then you can actually put in the name of the method, and automatically it'll actually put that name as a string as the template. So that will be login again. Perfect. So now we have this set up. Now it seems that we're going to pass in a username and a password. So we should also add a DTO right here. And let's just call it login DTO right here. That's a new DTO that I'm going to build. And I'll just put in DTO like this. Now the login DTO, I could create that in its own class somewhere, but I'll just put it under the same namespace for now and just put it directly into this class that we're in right now under the same namespace. You can do that as long as you're inside the namespace. You can add as many classes as you want in this setup right here. And in my case, the login DTO is not going to be used anywhere else except in this class. So I don't see any reason not just to put it in here for now. We can always move it into a DTO package later if we want to. So now that we have the class, what should be in here? We need two properties. We needed a username. So let's just add the username of the type string right here. Username, there we go. So now we have the username available. And the other property we need is going to be another string, and that's going to be a password here. So those two properties, I need those whenever I want to log in. So we already created a lot of what we need. I didn't mention right here what we should return. In my case, I'm going to return a token and a message. So I want to return both the token that I created and a message if there was any information I needed to kind of give back to the user. So in order to do that, we need to make another DTO right here. So we're going to make a token DTO like this. Now the token DTO, I'll just create that locally as well. There we go. And the token DTO is very simple. I just want to make a property again. First of all, for the string right here, that's going to be let's just call it JWT. That's going to be the actual token. And the second property that I want to pass back is going to be a string just with a message saying if something went horribly wrong, if there's something I want to inform the user, and later I might want more information in my return type right here. There we go. So now we have the token and we have the DTO for login available. So let's try and use those. The only thing I'll do this lesson is I'll do a return statement right here, and I'll say return new token DTO, and there we'll just pass in the information that we just sent to the actual backend right here. So let's just say the JWT part right here is just going to be DTO.username plus DTO.password. Now, of course, in the next lessons, we'll start to create a real JWT token, but for now, let's just to show that we actually have access to this controller right here and this method, we're going to try and just do this. The message will just be token created, something like that, just to kind of again see that we have access, and then later we're going to start expanding this slowly. One more thing I want to do before we try and run this is just add allow anonymous. Now allow anonymous is pretty much a way for me to make sure that no matter if I authorize anything inside this controller later on, this method will always be allowed anonymously, so you don't have to log in to get into this area right here. And that's of course important because we don't want to end up people can't logging in unless they're logged in. Then we would have kind of a problem as well. There we go. So now our new auth controller is available. Let's just try and restart it and see how it actually works. And then let's just end the video right here with just going into Swagger and just trying to see us log in and get some information back from the backend right here. So I'll jump into Swagger. I'll just refresh the page. I'll go and I'll just try it out and just log in, and let's just put in some information right here and some kind of password. Now remember, these are plain text passwords. Later we'll hash them, but there we go. Now we'll send this and I get back the password and the username, and token is created. So there we go. Now we have a new endpoint available. We just need to start using it in upcoming videos. So let's just end it right there. See you next time. Bye.